How's it going, guys? Welcome to the deep dive. This is where I go through everything rugby news, and anything that I might find interesting. So, first up, one thing that's caught my eye is Ronan O'Gara, his suspension, and La Rochelle, especially with their qualification slots for the playoffs in doubt. So, before I continue, please like and subscribe. It really, really does help my channel grow. So, let's break into it now. First up, Ronan O'Gara. I want to talk about him for a little bit because Ronan O'Gara, we've all known from his playing days to his managerial days. The guy is just, you can say, feisty. He loves conflict. He's always looking for it, and I want to go into as to whether this kind of style works with La Rochelle and whether it's actually improving them instead of hindering them. Because from Ronan O'Gara's playing days, we've always known he's always, he's more than happy to get into conflict. He is hot tempered and he's very, very quick to lose that temper. So obviously, in this case, it was the game up. I think it was in January up against Toulon that he ended up losing his cool, and there was a bit of an altercation with one of the refs or one of the officials, and that ended up getting him, pretty much a slap on the wrist, a little fine, and says on your way. But ultimately, it went into FFR, so the France's national governing board, and they took a deeper look into this, and they were a lot more stringent. They were a lot harsher in the terms, especially considering he is no stranger to getting things like bans and fines and things like that. So they kind of took a much harsher overlook on everything that's happening. And ultimately, they turned over the initial slap on the wrist fine, and they ended up giving him a 5-week ban. So this is really, really big for La Rochelle because not only are they going to be without their coach, he can't be in person. He cannot in coach. He literally cannot do anything when it comes game time. He cannot send any messages, any signals, tactics, nothing. So he's pretty much been banned completely, and that does take in consideration playoff games. And if La Rochelle managed to get into the playoffs, that's going to be a big, big one. They're currently sitting in seventh. There's only a couple points that are separating them, a couple places above and below them. So anything's possible. They really need to make the most out of every single game because anything is possible. We could quite easily see La Rochelle not make the playoffs because of a loss. They just recently beat, I think it was Van, 30-29, which is pretty tight. But La Rochelle are really, really going to be fighting for their lives here. And they are not going to have Ronan O'Gara there to assist. So obviously he's going to try and prepare them as best as possible, but it's going to be a difficult one nonetheless because this is going to be it's going to be hard because everybody here is fighting. Everybody is fighting for those spots, considering how little points are between them. So this is big on Ronan O'Gara, and I wanted to speak to you in relation to whether his style is is actually helping them or whether it's actually hindering them. Because a lot of people tend to say, oh, but, this is how La Rochelle play. They're very feisty, they're very passionate, and it can kind of go hand in hand. But when it has moments like this, where now Ronan O'Gara is now suspended, he can't do anything in the games for the next 5 weeks. That puts a lot of pressure on La Rochelle. That puts a lot of pressure on the coaches, on the players to perform, and not having him there is definitely going to have an effect. Whether it's going to be a big or a small effect, it's still going to have an effect, no matter how much they prepare them prior to the game. So obviously, this has been ongoing. The French national board have obviously decided to be much stricter with him because this is recurring, and ultimately, this is going to just keep continuing. Are they going to be left multiple times without their coach or with getting fines and things like this, just escalating and getting worse because of Ronan O'Gara's temper? So I wanted to put the question to you. Is it right? Does he deserve to still be then? Is it actually helping them, or is it hindering them having a coach that he's so hot-tempered that anything is possible? So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.